In one of our earlier sessions, we looked at using our iPhone or our iPad to take pictures and then upload those pictures using the unique email address that Evernote provides us in our Evernote account. And the specific example that I gave you was my Jiffy Lube sticker and setting a reminder date for when my next oil change was due. So keeping with the car maintenance theme, what I have here is a web clipping for the Virginia Department of Motor Vehicles, and using the web clipper, I simply clip this and it has the web address here that I can click on and it'll take me to that, so that when it's time for me to renew my vehicle, I can do so. Here I have snapped a picture of the license renewal or license registration renewal that I have for my car. Now, what I can do with this is, since its due date is 5/14, I can click on the alarm clock icon and that sets the reminder, but then I can add a specific date and go to May, and let's just say May 1st. And actually, we may even want to do it a little bit before that. Let's go to, say, April 30th, and we'll set that as the reminder date. And then on that day, we'll get a reminder we can renew our car. Now, one of the things when you're doing reminders, they always, or at least here, they always ask you for your VIN number. So I've included that here in my note, but that's not something that I really want everybody to see, right? So one of the things you can do is you can encrypt this. So any information within a note, if you don't want it to be seen without you having put in a password, you can encrypt that. And all you have to do is just highlight that text, whatever it is, and I'm going to right click on it and I'm going to click Encrypt Selected Text. And then what this will do is it will ask me for a password. So I'll put in a password there and then re-enter the password. And then you can enter a hint if you want to, and I don't really care about that. I'm just going to say OK. And then once you encrypt it, this is what it looks like. So then when you came back to the note and you clicked on it, you could say Show Encrypted Text, and it's going to ask you for your password. When you put that in there, click OK, then it will be revealed. Okay, so we talked about encrypting, or we talked about this in the context of security within Evernote. And I had mentioned that you have two types of notebooks, synchronized and local notebooks, and that if you had information that you were not confident having online, you could put that information in a local notebook. The only drawback would be that it would not be synchronized. So if you were okay with having information in a synchronized notebook online, but you still wanted to add an extra layer of security, you could encrypt that information. And so that's how you would do that. Another thing you can do is receipts. So it's tax time here, and if you take a snapshot of your receipts, now this is not really that big a deal, this is just a little grocery receipt, but if you take snapshots of, say, the big ticket items that you purchase or things that you may spend that you could get a tax deduction for, you keep those in a notebook, and then when you go to see your accountant or whoever it is that does your taxes, you'll have that right there and you don't have to go searching for everything. Now, here's an example of something you might want to do. I've titled this Tax Deductions Commonly Missed, and this is actually something that happened to our family recently. My wife is the tax guru in the family, and she was doing the taxes and then later went back and was looking at some documentation and realized that she could get a tax deduction for a new car that we had recently or bought in the past. And that's something that's commonly missed. It's not really well documented. But what you could do if you were interested in doing something like this for your finances is keep a note with a list of all the different types of tax deductions that you want to remember, and go up here and set a reminder for whenever it is you're going to be doing your taxes, give you a reminder to remember that right before you do them. So that's another way you could do this. And what you might want to do, I'm going to right click on my notebooks and say show notebook list, you might want to add, as I've done here, a notebook called Finances. So you could keep things like your receipts, tax deductions, tax deduction information, and things like that. You can keep that in your finances. We already had our car maintenance notebook. So again, things like license renewal, registration renewal, you can keep notes like that there. And then here in a second, we're going to look at another thing that you might want to do, and that is gift ideas.